Hi, hello friends. Am I audible? Thank you. And let's begin. Thank you for joining. And apologies for shifting the time because I'm going to talk to the HPA group in 8:30, so I couldn't do that. But anyways, I'm recording this, so I will send this later to people who couldn't make it. So what I am going to do is like let's go and very quickly go through the highlight flag list and see like what's shaping up and what is not shaping up, and also we'll discuss more conditions to look in a high tide flag setup, which will sort of increase your probabilities. Okay, so in general the market has been good this week. Nifty made a fresh high altogether. um, And so, before even starting to chat about this today, I want to uh, emphasize on something which many of us as traders sort of don't have in less, supply, which is patience, right? So, the patience to so actually two things, right? So one is commitment. So once you commit to a particular setup, that means once you enter a particular setup, then you and you have a certain risk, like for example, let's say I entered here and I had like a 10% risk on 10% of portfolio, which means like 1% of my portfolio ki maine like I have recognized and I have like come into terms with myself that that 1% is the risk I have taken to make double or triple or whatever. And so once we commit to that trade, we have to have the power to sit through the trade. Either it has to come and hit the stop loss or you de-risk yourself at 2x. If anyone is unmute, uh, can you please mute yourself because I'm getting a small thank you. Yeah. So that is an essential quality of a trader, which is again repeating that you commit to a trade and you see it through. Either 1% is lost, I mean just 1% is an example which I'm taking. Whatever percent you have, put it as a risk and following the rule. Like you once you have a rule which or a trade plan, and the trade plan which we have for us here is that you de-risk at 2R, you know and so like I have also written in the group, this whole thing has been designed in keeping real life trading, swing trading in the mind, right? So as a swing trader, the most important two things are: one, riding a trend longer, you know that is one. And we cannot do that because we sell everything at the slightest hint of okay, market is going to come down. So that is why de-risking at a certain point is so important, because once you de-risk your position, whatever is left, it is essentially risk free. तो पैसा जाने का तो कोई सवाल ही नहीं है. So once you don't have any risk, then you can also hold things longer. And the second thing is, many times you don't have enough cash or balance to take new trades, right? So that's why selling 50% also helps in that, right? So think about this points deeply, and this will also help you develop patience. Okay. um, Long way to go still, but these are the things, right? Okay, so let's go through these names one by one. mm. So BSC has been such a great stock, uh, like from a very lower levels, and yeah. So if a handle is prepared here, that would be even better setup for another entry. Okay, so DB Reality is again setting up well. So some of the things I will reiterate again. Uh, repeat the things which I've been repeating. This is sort of a true pole. Volumes are not that great here because it's very like not uh, what's the word? It's yeah, like we need some more volume going down. This is great. Every day with each passing day, Cupid is becoming better and better. Okay. PPL is also getting better. So 1T, 2T, the 2T which we thought was a breakout of this tight area did not materialize, and now it's going for a third T. And yeah, as long as like this low is being held, it's a very good setup. Tata Invest also getting better, right? So now possibility of a pivot high again. If that happens, then we'll shift our levels there. IMCO. So IMCO, right. So once a breakout happens, there are four possibilities. Okay, just remember this. Like whatever happens, one of these four things will happen. So what is the first thing? First thing is that the breakout fails, in which case this IMCO after breaking out would have come inside the base. The second thing is it follows through, right? So अभी तक follow through नहीं हुआ है, but many breakouts. That's why we trade breakouts. The one of the lucrative fact is that it then 3 4 5 candles bam 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 chala jayega. The third and fourth thing is somewhat similar, in which the third thing is that it pulls back to the breakout zone, which it did. IMCO sort of pulled back here exactly to the breakout zone, previous high, and then sort of today is the first day of the bounce. If the bounce doesn't materialize, then what happens? The fourth thing happens, which is it constructs a tight area around the breakout zone, right? So the worst thing is the failure, follow through is the best thing, but the third and fourth thing are not bad, because in this time what happens is this whatever gain it made, it's sort of digesting that, and then getting ready for another move up. And many times what happens is that uh, the pullback and a tight area, the third and fourth, actually presents an even more lucrative area for an entry, although we are not taking that entry. But I'm just telling you that the fact is that sometimes pullback and 4 3 and 4 gives you even better entry. So imagine the so imagine this guy again pulls back and makes a, like a very tight area, post which a breakout happens. If one trades that breakout well, then essentially you will have an even smaller stop loss, right? Okay, so so that is why also patience is very much required in trading these flags, because so electro steel, see, there is always a chance of this happening, and this happens more if the base is small. Okay, so this is also a very continuous learning process, and I will, that's why I am being very selective in pouring like lots of uh, everything in the same session, right? So these, because these are observational skills, these are this you will learn only from observation of your own. So if you observe a lot of stuff, that is why people, traders prefer big bases, because big bases breakout are more trustworthy, right? So electro steel, although it hasn't came down, the this is small base, so now you can basically say that it's sort of a retest, or remember pattern morphing, or this could probably morph into a small ascending channel, and this is actually a base which is ascending, in which case this ascending base is the whole structure is very strong, because the base itself was sloping up, right? So this can play out in several ways. High rect, similarly similar to electrocast, imagine like high rect uh, electrocast kuch din pehle, like something like this, right? So sort of respecting this line, and I expect a bounce very soon. again getting ready, not ready yet. Nitco similarly, so remember we were here, and this gapped up and then came down, and then I sort of anticipated this. Hopefully this thing plays out, you know. Angel 1, small base, it's forming the fourth this one, which is basically forming a tight area around breakout. Now fact is again getting lucrative, so imagine the similarities between uh, possibly electrocast and high rect, right? So high rect and fact, they are like similar structures. So you have a flag mast, and sorry, the flagpole, and then the mast itself, it has a uh, ascending channel tone to it. So again, flag is a very nice setup. uh, like it's a very nice setup right now. Again, there's some volumes today. uh, so ITI is also getting better and better, like there are very less volumes, so that's the one thing. And also I the telecom sector has been, has been doing really well, and still is one of the leading sectors even for this week. So so here, where is it? Maybe not, like, but in general, if you see like in a longer term, yeah, something is wrong. Anyways, so ITI is again getting better, also a very strong sector. If it bases for a a little more time, then the mast would be, like, we will not call it a high tide flag, but in general also, because the base is high, base is a longer base, bigger base, the setup is very much tradable. Again, like Omex, the ABUT is still on. One of these days, I'm hoping that is gonna fire, right? And also like strong sector, reality plus finance, both sectors are doing well now. So there is a confluence in sectors as well. MCX, yeah, sort of following through, but again, like, these, if you are, like, for example, if you are in MCX from this level, because this is like a little bigger base. How big? Let's quantify this. So like 14 bars, right? So this is a very valid entry, uh, as a high tide flag kind of a setup, which like, you you intend to hold longer, and if those kind of entries presents a base like this, which is basically smaller base, 6 bars only, then you can like pyramid up. But like as a fresh entry, for a positional trade, I generally don't prefer like this small bases, okay. um, and because the failure rate is little higher, so Jay Balaji is like getting better. So you can think of this as 1T, second T, and possibly third T, right? And also a very strong stock. And contrary to popular thinking, a strong stock keeps on getting stronger. So we should not do the mistake of thinking, भाई ये कितना जाएगा, इतना तो जा चुका है, like I have seen numerous example of those thinking. And if this breaks out, you take a chance of that 1% risk to portfolio, and if this works out, then will work out very handsomely. Jindal Photo getting better, got better with two. So if you see, yeah, like this candle is little different from all the other candles in the sense that it sort of closed higher than yesterday's close. And so I'm really hopeful that, it is now, the last contraction or last pullback is done. But again, like, stocks will not do how you think. Modison, I love this. I love this. See, now one can say that, hey, brother, this is just the first T, right? But again, the first T itself, if it is so long, in the sense that, let me uh, So how long is this base, so this is 11 bars. So anything more than 10 bars, which then translates to like more than 2 weeks, can be then considered as a viable base. So this is actually a very nice setup. Now I don't know what this guy does, but engineering construction mane kuch to acha hoga. All of these names which has engineering construction, they're generally doing well. Also has volumes on pole. Also the volumes on pullback also looks good. Now Kalyan Jewelers looking really good because very strong sector, jewelry sector, and not a true pole, although not a true pole, but anyways, one can consider this. I would have loved more volume contraction here. Yeah, I mean not a A1 setup, but somehow like my instinct says that this will still go on and to do well. Okay, and that is because of this being in a high heavy sector. Setting up, you see this mast is still just 22% from the top. So looks good. Now you will say that, hey Prakash, volume यहाँ पे लाल volume. So this is actually not 100% लाल volume. This is also 50% like the bullish volume. So one, I would still consider this as a as a okay. Sean Energy also getting better. This is one of the constituent uh, reality sector, reality, CNX reality. So it's very strong, right? CNX reality is very strong. So one can consider this. GMDC is a very nice cup and handle, like the base has a 2T, mast has a 2T. So this is also very much in the fray of things. This I don't like, so I will just take this out. Yeah, we can still keep this. Maharashtra Seamless. So Maharashtra Seamless, again, like I said, these are like just like BSC also has been quite an outperformer, and yeah, small base breakout. And whenever you see small base, you make sure that if you are trading that, make sure that the pullback from the base top is under 10%, and those small bases might still work better, you know so make sure if you are trading, this is irrespective of if you are trading eye tight flag or just flag. So a pullback in a single digit means that like there are no buyers. Orient Ceratec is getting better and better. Hopefully, we will have some more triggers, some more of these triggering in the next week. So remember that high tide flag is very not a common pattern. It's a little rare pattern. So Talbros Auto, this is one name which I really like, and there is almost everything here except for the fact that this is not a true poll. Everything here is to like. Okay, so yeah, 60 to 70 to 80% the pole, although not true, but still a great one because of these 2 days ka volume and candle. It looks like a great pole. Okay, and if you see 1 2 3 4 5 6 bars of pullback, and each day the volume of the bar are getting smaller and smaller. Now this is a really peak setup, and possibly we have the a reversal today. So now you see why until yesterday there was no setup here, because until yesterday every day we were having a lower high, lower low on each candle, right? Except for this day, we had a higher low, but after that like four lower lows. Now this then you will see in a smaller time frame is also like the staircase pattern down. So this was in a downtrend. So today what we have change in trend. Why? Because we have a higher high and a higher low. Okay, so in a lower time frame this is actually a change of trend. So there is a small window of opportunity here. Now now any sort of a breakout of today's high is a valid entry, and that's like a pullback entry. But since we are not targeting pullbacks, now if you see like this is like 5 6 bars, 8 bars, I would have liked a little more. But since the setup is so good, like there is nothing to not like in this. And also then you will have to understand two things, right? So Prakash, what's the what's the give and take you are doing giving here. So uh, let's say the worst case scenario, if we enter here, uh, the stock goes on to make 3t, for example, let's say something like this. Well, I'm just drawing something which is uh, scenario, like very ideal scenario, right? So the why you are entering here, why I would one would enter here is because it's getting a very small stop loss, right? So first of all, small stop loss, and second of all, you are getting a better price. So how much better price are you getting? Let's say if you enter here, then you are already getting a 14% cheaper price than if you enter the breakout of the flag, you know. um, so if you are enter somewhere here, you'll be getting 14% cheaper, right? So then the benefit exceeds does the benefit exceed the risk? So that's the question. So in my opinion, it does, because 14% is decent amount you are getting, right? And let's say if doesn't spend 3t, which is like probably 14 to 15 days, 12 days, let's say ideal case scenario, then I think the give and take is worth, right? So that's why Talbros, I think, in my opinion, is good. And again, similar to Talbros, I like Apollo as well. Such a nice true pole. uh, like you can see volumes increasing. I would have liked some more volumes, but again, it's fine, like it's a small company, ऐसा होता है. But again, coming from one of the strongest sector of the post COVID fall के बाद वाला जो bull run, and that is basically the defense sector, and that's the reason why this guy is in the priority list. So I will not go through every. How much time do we have? Okay, so let me quickly go through the other ones, and I will not put much explanation. Just will go through, and if something interests you, just stop me. E-clerics, the mast is probably being getting made. Okay, so this looks good. Also, the mid and small cap, I don't know, this is IT or what. They're also doing, yeah, this also, yeah, they're also sort of trying to do well. So maybe something to look at. um, DRC system also like looks good, again mid and small cap IT. Also, if you notice one thing, and again, I'm not plugging in HP and all in here, but because I've been talking a lot about the H the big base breakout, you can see that almost everything which breaks out, which has a big volume, they go on to do well. So this was a big base volume day on, um, yeah, nucleus. I don't like gap downs in my mass, like somehow this is just getting the hopefully the mast will be made here, and if that's the case, this is like a peak true pole, like peak, PEAK, the best of the best true pole is this. And also like very close to 100% also within 2 or 3 weeks, which is like almost like a high tide flag. And just, yeah, this is, I will just flag this because this might turn out to be good. And it's also good, like we will spend the whole process of like how the pole is forming, and how the mast is forming, and like pounce when the time is ready, rather than like getting in early. Suzlon में क्या हो रहा है, like very nice volatility contraction pattern is happening. T1 second T, again, yeah, like some of these stocks, we as traders invested are so much negatively biased, and I am no different. I also get caught up in biases, but yeah, every day we have to be wary of the fact that we are all very much prone to biases, and not just in trading, in any sphere of life, like who you are friends with is also mired by biases, and what other people think about that person. Like similarly with stocks, like if everyone in the world doesn't like Suzlon, or Suzlon में कुछ तो खराबी होगा bro, ऐसा नहीं है, मतलब. So yeah, something to be cognizant about. And this guy is actually not a like a high tide flag. It's already broken out, and then now pulling back. And this is like a very high probability pullback setup. Matlab बहुत high. Like I will explain this probably. I've already explained this on Twitter. There are multiple confluence of supports here. So one confluence is basically this guy. So this is called AVWAP, anchored VWAP. VWAP stands for volume weighted average price, and people who bought after this, everyone is in a profit. So this is a very high. This is a place where most people will defend. So KPI tech. This doesn't look good. Okay, so in the sense for now it doesn't look good because we need we need a lower high, higher low, and then this guys will start to look good. Okay, but for now it doesn't because of these 2 days ka volume. Now it could be retail volume, who knows it, but it could be big money volume also, you know, so we don't know. So be careful about keep it. IFGL exports. Again, this is, I'll just flag this because this is too good, too good. I just wish that it will flag for a couple of more days, and in which case it's gonna be ready, like truly ready. So these are the setups I am willing to wait. There are a couple of setups here like IFGL, Cupid, IFGL, and some others. These are the setups I am really willing to wait. This also looks good. Also, I think very small IT stocks, and they are doing really well. So let's flag this. Yeah, like there is no, yeah, there is like no space to enter. Like Prestige has been a leader of the reality. This one, Pritika Auto again. This doesn't excite me because anytime it can again go to this phase. Um, but setup wise it's also very good. Okay, again this is just for proof of concept. People with huge money should not trade this because it's a very small stock. Not great. Building, but still not great. Again, I don't like the pole. This is not a true pole. Bike. So bike hospitality is getting better now. I don't like the fact that it's a 5% UC1. But the structure is too good, like too good. Yeah, so imagine if one would have gotten this. This is also almost nearly a very good flag, almost a high tide flag, a true pole. Yeah, so the pole length is small, but now since the name of this thing is already high tide flag, so we will not trade this. But after we are done with this course or like whatever exercise, just make sure that you don't miss this, because whatever learnings we are getting in high tide flag, they can also be directly transferable to trading any other flags, right? So your flagpole doesn't have necessarily have to be 80-90%, like 30-35, but a true pole and then like a less than 10% ka ye, it makes an amazing. And it's like 2t, and 2t maybe there is a shakeout wala t, like fucking amazing. Anyways, yeah, so Ratan India is a true HTF and getting better, and also from a really nice high relative strength group. So I'm flagging that. BliffGS, yeah, it needs some more time for us to take a entry. Not a true pole, but one can, not in the high tide flag challenge, but as any other setup is looking good. Jikre needs to flag some more, but let's put this one. Venus Remedies needs to flag more. Adani Power, not a true poll. 1 point solution. Also, again, like I don't like this, but like these are like not bad. Yeah, so this is another one. Orient Green Power. I like it. Second T. Um, yeah, just the volume's a little bit thoda zyada hai. But yeah, maybe like I don't know what kind of transactions are happening. PCBL, a true pole formation. True pole, इसको बोलते हैं true बिल्कुल, like there is no questions asked. Need some time. Yeah, PFC. Now PFC came into scanner today because this whole thing has been like more than like 60%. Also being a large cap stocks. Large cap stocks का मैंने 50 या 60% बना दिया है. But see, man, like this was the time to get in. You know, this is the this is the tight area, like the mast. It's not a high tide flag, but just reiterating the fact that this is one of the simplest reoccurring pattern. Like दुनिया इधर से उधर हो जाएगी, flags will still come. Like as long as there is a supply demand based buying and selling of stock, this guy will appear if the underlying security has a demand. Okay, उतना उतना आप याद रखो. Yeah, this is yeah, again, like this is the nice flag. um, yeah, so I'm just flagging this because I have a feeling that the pole क्या बोलते हैं mast is will probably get start to get make. Okay, and yeah, so global education, this is what I'm trying to say. Like this is a very nice example of how to trade a flag, not a high tide flag, just a flag. True pole, T1 T2 under 10%. This is a little longer, but let's say like under 20%. Anything 20 is good. And then you have a breakout day with high volumes, and then you get a follow through. So at the end also, if one would have added here, you would have at least gotten, like अगर आप next day का end में भी निकलो तो 9-10%, so go through these names regularly, and you will be, after regularly looking at this, you will be amazed how better you are at identifying these opportunities. Okay, so half an hour done. I will, if you guys have any questions, I will answer, and I will leave a little early because I have to prepare for the next meeting. Okay. Praveen, please go ahead. Hi, Praveen. What stocks? Uh, about the high tide flags? High tide flags? Yes, I have a scanner which at this moment I am not sharing. Okay. I will take, yeah, yes. Okay, so what I have code, you wanna know how to code this? Yeah, so basically you just code the features of a high tide flag. You say that the recent high, um, uh, I mean basically like last 50 days में जो recent low है and the recent high, uh, that percentage has to be more than whatever. For me, high tech, like large caps more than 50%, mid caps more than 60, and other cap more than 70%, right? And then you say that the recent high minus the recent low, last like 3 weeks or 4 weeks low, whatever, that should not exceed more than 25%. Yeah. So if you very simply be able to code these two things, you will get the whole list. For sure, I'm gonna help you. Yeah, if you try, I'm gonna help you solve that. Okay, you're welcome. Sarat, you have a question? Please go ahead. Hi, Sarat. MBL Infra. Okay. Oh, is it? Um, yes. Tell me. So, what was your entry? Like, what is the entry here? Where is this cheat entry? So, cheat entry is a breakout entry. Okay. Yesterday, though, it did not break out only. This one. See, this was still not a valid cheat entry, because a valid cheat entry will have, like, will have a zone. So this is like pictorially I'm showing you a cheat entry, okay? So a cheat entry will have at least two pivot highs from where it is breaking out, right? So this is a valid cheat entry. So in this case, it was still in a downtrend, you know. So the best case, like the minimal thing for you to call it a cheat entry is, like, let's say for example, if you get a breakout of this high mane the November 29th wala high and today's high are almost a similar area, right? So then you can say that, okay, this is the tight area which I'm considering a pivot, and when the stock breaks out of this, then you can say that it's a cheat entry. So there was no entry in my opinion. Yeah. Just tell me the date. Tell me this one. This one. Okay. This one, like this. These two. No, but like, see, you are entering here, and how the tightness before 10 day. These two. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Let's do this. So you entered here. Yeah, on this. Yeah. So this still is not a like a. This is a downtrend. Okay. See, like, your first T was minus 17%. Your second possible T was minus 14%. Okay. So if you say that this is your cheat entry warrants a small consolidation, tight consolidation. This is an entry in the middle of the C. There is, in my opinion, this is not a cheat entry. Okay. Yeah. So this one still hasn't set up. So, like I said, the best entry you can get, given the conditions right now, is to say that I am going to enter when 47.5 is breaking out. Okay, so then you will at least have two pivots where you can join. See, whenever you draw a line, you always make sure that the line is touching at least two pivots high. Okay, so in this case, this is still a half pivot because we haven't, like, so at least you will have a two pivots in a lower time frame. So for example, these are the two pivots, pivot 1, pivot 2. So at least when this is breaking out, that's your closest entry possible. So Okay. Yeah, it can do not just this stock, any stock. It can do one of three things. It will go up, go sideways, or go down. Yeah, so the best case, in my opinion, is probably this. But again, anything can happen, you know, and that is why we wait for like a confirmation of things changing the trend. Right now, it is in a downtrend, and so unless and until you actually see it going up, your the bias is that okay, it will continue the downtrend, you know. Yeah, so that's why you wait for confirmation, you know. There was another stock actually, forgot the name here, NBCC. I don't know why it's not coming here. Yeah, yeah. No, no, no. That is a different this one. Huh. So any more questions, guys? Is factor true? Isn't it on the weekly? The 8 weeks is more than 100% rise is not there. Yeah. So Bhaskar, the fact might not be a true high tide flag, but again, we started with the assumption that the high tide flag definition, which we got from the West, might not exactly work for us in India. And so in general, I think 70% is still fine. Like, you know, Talbro doesn't have a 8 week 100% rise. Yeah, again, same question. How to put this? How to put a VWAP? So how to put Mason valves V1 Nesco? So how to put anchored VWAP is you will find anchor VWAP here in the second one, and no, not here. यहाँ पे ये 1 2 3 4 if you see, you find anchored VWAP. Question, guys, question. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll not take any more questions. I will quickly discuss my trades of high tide flag. Okay. So yeah, so I have like four positions. One has been de-risked. So you see, I have stop loss at 3.4 and 50% is already 2x. So even if it comes back and hits the stop loss, I'm still going to make some money, right? Yeah, yeah. I'm like, I'll not lose any money at least. Hmm? PPL, ICFI, and OMEX. So PPL was a cheat entry. Uh, ICFI was a O'Neill breakout, which sort of has been like not failed, but it hasn't given this one. And OMEX was a ABUT entry. Okay, so let's go through them one by one. PPL. So PPL was a cheat entry. So you see, I thought like this was a very tight area, and I entered in the morning. I think there was a GTT also, but it's again setting up well. Uh, so I'm I'm prepared to wait and be very, what is the word? Yeah, whatever word, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? So Omex, yeah, hopefully again this guy will do well. Um, what was the other entry? IFCI, yeah. So IFCI, I have very high hopes. Um, because it's from a sector which is doing well, which is like finance, And also like things like PFC, REC, I'm not sure if they do exactly the same thing, but being from a finance sector should do well is my hope. Yeah, so you see, you can do a top up, okay? Like the best way to top up would be if this guy क्या बोलते हैं इसको follows through, and then uh, क्या बोलते हैं इसको pulls back and then starts to go, so basically you can top up at the confirmation pullback entry, which is basically once it starts moving up, or after it makes a very tight area, then you can top up uh, in general. But for this exercise, let's not top up, because then you'll also yeah, the more like 25 fresh entries of high red flag, that's what we want. But to answer your question, yes, we can top up, right? So So yeah, so for example, just to add to your the point, like for example, this was my entry on Hindustan Copper, and this was a DTL breakout entry, right? So this is a high, big volume breakout on the downtrending channel ka base breakout. Then what happened was a chick 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 chick, 3 4 5 days, and once I saw it coming up from here, this could have been a valid entry, you know. So that's how you top up. Similarly, tide water. This was my entry. This could have been a nice top up. So definitely you can top up. Now there are various ways to top up. Like some people like this way, some people like that way. That's a separate discussion altogether. Okay, last 2 minutes. If anyone has a question, I see Raj, you have a question. Hello. Yes. No, I took on this day. So this would be the O'Neill base breakout. On this day, I took the trade. 28. No, no, no. It you see, it came back, no, brother. Yes, yes. There was a small time when it retraced. Here on this first 30 minutes, 15 minutes candle, it retraced. At that time, I took the entry. Yeah. Hello. Yes, I can hear you. Yeah. So, see, bad examples, a bucket of bad examples would be any trade that's taken inside the base. So IMCO, anything adding here would have been a bad example. Not that it will not work eventually, but that's not a like a right way to make a swing trade. You know. So that is why again we will get this chance. So that is why what I'm gonna do is, so it's always good to um take example of the trades which someone actually took, right? So so once we have like 10 trades taken, like someone's already at the 14th trade, I that's too fast. But let's say in due course of time, next 1 week, 2 week, there will be someone who will finish their 10 trades, and then we will actually go back and analyze, okay, this entry was wrong, this entry was correct, this entry could have been done this, right? So let's wait for real life examples. Okay guys, I have to go now. I have to prepare for another meeting, and so I will stop here, and